Hey guys, I'm JanetOnOccasion, and today we're playing another Total War Warhammer II Battle Replay. No one sent me this one. No, this is me for once. Yeah, I thought I'd do some quick battles. Because it's been ages. It's been ages since I have. So with the new patch coming in, it just means that it gives people more time to send me replays on the new patch. And I get to muck about a bit, which is nice, because I haven't in a while, to be honest. So, yeah, so I played some quick battles. Playing Bretonnia in this one against the High Elves. So my front line is just men at arms with shields. I mean, they're a bit crap, but it doesn't matter, because Spearmen aren't very good at killing, and so these guys should be able to pin down a lot of the front line for me. And that's all I really want them to do, just be a bit of a hassle. Also, I have King Leonker, and he's obviously a total powerhouse. He hits things really hard, and great armor piercing, and some beautiful abilities here with the Sword of Quran lowering melee defense and armor, very nice, and the Lion's Shield being able to resist a load of magic and missiles, and it's quite common to see Sisters of Avalon in this matchup. So you proc that, and they negate half of the magic damage and half of the missile damage, or their magic missile damage. So yeah, he'll basically be untouched for a while. Well, for 22 seconds against things like Sisters of Avalon. So it's nice insurance against that kind of thing. But also, just any missiles, it's nice to shrug off, and any magic, it's nice to shrug off. Especially if Alariel is hanging around with her ability that gives magic damage to nearby things. That's a nice way out, you know, if he gets bogged down by dragon princes or something and Alariel's nearby. So, yeah, he can shrug off all damage there. Very, very useful. Also here, you see, I have a load of Pegasus Knights as well, because in case there was a load of dragons or something, I wanted these two to be able to bully anything in the sky and hopefully win out. So I wanted to bring some Pegasus Knights, just so Lewin wouldn't get killed by a dragon. Also, I have a Life Damsel. So she's very good too, so obviously just great to have a spellcaster. So I've got Flesh to Stone, because armor piercing is something that the High Elves tend to struggle with in a lot of places. Also Regrowth and Earthblood, so very handy. But over here, you see I have the Companions of Quenelles, so some nice armor piercing there. I also have some Grail Knights, and I think I had something else, didn't I? Yes, I did, that's right. I had 3 mounted yeomen. Yeah, so these guys can be great for just jumping on top of the back line and being an absolute pain. So over here you can see I'm against Tyrion, so rarely see Tyrion in this matchup, but I quite like it. It's interesting to see, you know, that Sunfang, it's going to do a lot of work against any of the front line units, because Bretonnia doesn't tend to have a lot of armor in the front line. But he's got loads of armor piercing himself, he's very good at dueling, you know, very expensive things like the expensive cavalry. Feint and Riposte means he just gets unbelievable combat stats, and Stand Your Ground in tandem, you know, his stats are well over 100 each, which is pretty great, and the Heart of Avalon means that he's going to be very robust, very hard to kill. Also the fire resistance, kind of nice if there's flaming arrows, and general missile resistance that all lords and heroes have, which isn't huge, but whatever, it helps. Here, you can see he's got plenty of spearmen, including the Scions of Mathlan. He has 2 units of Silverhelms here. He has some Sisters of Avalon. He has some Swordmasters of Hoeth, which you don't often see, and he's got 3 units of Loathen Seaguard back here. He's also got a Mage of Light, so I'm going to have to watch out for that, because he does have a net and fast protection, both very useful spells. And I think that's it. Yeah, he doesn't have anything else hidden in the trees. So very small elite army here. So here you can see Tyrion ran straight in. I'm just going to keep pushing my guys forwards. And I'm happy for my men-at-arms to take the charge from these Silverhelms, because it means I can just charge in with the Pegasus Knights and Lewin. And that'll be quite handy to, you know, be able to do some work to them. My cavalry are all starting to move up too. And you can see here, these Silverhelms have taken a ludicrous amount of damage. But this is an issue. This is definitely a problem. Here you can see he's hit me with a net of Amantok. So that's a bit annoying. That's rather irritating. And now he's charging in again with the Silverhelms, and it's going to be difficult to stop them here. So my Pegasus Knights are actually suffering horribly initially. But I only really needed them to help me deal with any flyers, and there aren't any, so that's fine. So back here, I've got my Mounted Yeoman into his Sisters of Avalon, causing some problems. Not doing a huge amount of damage, because Mounted Yeomen aren't particularly great, but it's keeping them from firing, and that's all I really want. So Pegasus Knights are struggling. They are definitely struggling. Lewin's going to jump down here again. I had used the Lion's Shield to shrug off missile damage too, and here you can see things are terrifying. The rest of the line, I mean, I'm getting into everywhere, really. Here you can see there are some Grail Knights. They have taken a fair bit of damage here, sadly. And also my Companions of Quenelles. Sunfang has ripped through a ton of my man-at-arms, charging in with my Mounted Yeoman again just to cause some problems. And my Infantry and my Grail Knights are going to keep charging forwards. And the thing is, sure, Loathen Seaguard, they do have anti-large, but they just don't have the combat stats. They just don't. They have some anti-large, but they don't have very good, armor piercing. So they're not going to do much to Grail Knights. Grail Knights just kill them far too quickly, so this isn't too bad for me. I mean, it's fairly cost effective for them, but I'd rather them being melee than shooting at me, in all honesty. So, charging into the back of these Scions of Mathlan, still causing some problems over here. You know, Sisters of Avalon still pretty bogged down, but my Mounted Yeoman will break. But look at all of these units he's got dedicated just to keeping his Sisters of Avalon safe, and he's barely been able to hit me. Also, Tyrion's nearly dead. I had him really bogged down. He did manage to retreat here, though, which is a pity, so not happy about that. And he has managed to net King Lewin again, which is a shame. So another beautiful rear charge into the Science of Mathland. And my Grail Knights are still cycling in and out, and a load of these units are bogged down. My other Grail Knights are keeping all this stuff busy for a long time, and I've been chasing around those Silver Helms a bit. So all the Silver Helms are very hurt, but I should bring more of my infantry into this mix. So here you can see my Mounted Yeomen are back, so I'm going to charge in again. And Lewin's taken very little damage so far. Taken very little damage from all of these missiles, which is pretty great. Pretty great for me. So I can continue to cycle charge. So Mounted Yeomen moving around. The Companions of Quenelles moving around, and I'm going to jump in again, try and go for Tyrion once more. But he's used Feint and Riposte, so he's going to have crazy good stats. And here I'm using the Lion Shield and Flesh to Stone. So Flesh to Stone, pretty great, 150 armor there. It's mainly to shrug off the Loathen Seaguard damage, because, yeah, Tyrion has very good armor piercing. So, yeah, but he's really the only one hitting him, which is annoying. I was hoping he'd get a bit distracted, but actually, he's not really fighting many of my knights, so that sucks. That sucks. This isn't great for me. So, yeah, stand your ground on me as well. You know, he's got Files Protection, so constant buffs and debuffs to try and keep this duel going. So I'm going to pull my Grail Knights out, and I'm going to charge them back in. Over here, though, I have broken those Loathen Seaguard, and in the back line, still just so much disarray. So Companions of Quenelles have come in now, and the Sisters of Avalon really are starting to struggle. But all these Mounted Yeomen, they're such cheap cavalry, but they're causing so many problems. And now I have just, yeah, what's that, 4 units? 4 units of man-at-arms that's going to bog all this stuff down. Obviously, Swordmaster Hoeth are going to make pretty short work of them, but I'm keeping all this stuff bogged down, and that's all I really want. So King Lewin is having a bit of a tough time in here, fighting Tyrion now, that he's not completely ganged up on. But you can see all the Loathen Seaguard are super injured. They've all lost their martial prowess, which is very nice indeed. It means that my men-at-arms are actually quite happily killing all these guys, which is pretty great. So Companions and Quenelles, saw some Spearmen coming back, so I decided to charge them just to quickly shatter them. And did I get Earthblood? Yeah, I got Earthblood over here, just to keep all these guys fighting for a bit longer. And you can see the Sisters of Avalon did break, and they've run right away from their units, so I'll be able to catch them nice and easily too. Also over here, King Lewin has actually failed this duel. He has failed it. He got terrified. You know, Grail Knights has managed to break everything nearby, and that's enough for Tyrion to get chased away. Now the Sword of Charon has been used, so anything nearby can have awful, awful melee defense. I say that. Loathen Seaguard with 40? Really? What? Sword of Charon not hit him? Apparently not. Apparently not. Anyway, so Lewin's been able to deal with Tyrion rather nicely. He still has a spellcaster, but that's not so bad. Silver Helms are returning, but I'm running down his Sisters of Avalon again. And, oh, there are some signs of Mathland coming back. But, yeah, just being completely surrounded. And Sword of Charon actually hitting these guys. That's nice. There's not a lot they can do. I mean, 9 melee defense for Swordmasters of Hoeth. Even my man-at-arms are going to be landing hits, and they can't withstand the amount of numbers. So, there they go. Pyrrhic victory. So, quite a messy one. That's the beauty of having just a load of cavalry. You know, relying mostly on cavalry in an army like this. But did a fine job. Look at that, 222 and 121 kills for Grail Knights. That's no easy feat, you know. I'm sure a lot of it was just sort of basic infantry. They weren't fighting, you know, dragon princes and dragons and crazy good stuff like that. But still, I mean, all the high elf infantry is fairly elite compared to other factions, you know. The spearmen will hold out forever. Loathen Seaguard, I mean, all this stuff has anti-large, all their basic units, and you'd think that would make more of a dent in things like the Grail Knights. But no, just cycle charging, managed to rip through everything that really should be quite good against cavalry. But without that armor piercing, the Grail Knights just have a whale of a time. And getting a few heals in from my damsel, absolutely lovely. And that is a bit of an issue. So, sure, the Major Light, pretty nice to be able to net things down, but I think it's a bit of a tough one, relying on a net, when you only have one unit that can capitalize on a net. You know what I mean? So Sisters of Avalon, they're about to shoot at anything that's netted and get a lot of damage in, but that's it. That's all you're going to get use out of, you know? The net isn't really going to help anything else. I mean, maybe the Silver Helms, but I don't know. They're mobile enough to be able to just get on top of things. Well, you know, he's got the Spearman to screen already, so I think having some healing here would have really been beneficial, especially, you know, if he got the Swordmasters stuck into that front line nice and early. That would have been absolutely ludicrous. You know, he would have chopped through all of my man-at-arms pretty easily. But no, no, just couldn't handle it, unfortunately. The amount of mounted yeomen just harassing that back line, and the fact that at a glance it's very difficult to tell mounted yeomen apart from Grail Knights. You know, just at a glance you see just the cavalry symbol, and you try and react to it. So having all these mounted yeomen running around, causing a lot of interference, it really lets the Grail Knights and the Companions of Quenelles get some work done. Sadly, my Pegasus Knights did get completely crushed, which is a pity. It's nice to see them perform, but basically just insurance against dragons, so I didn't mind too much. So yeah, a lot of fun. So guys, if you enjoyed this, please do comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.